might not be. I don't know. Microphone's over there. We're going to move stuff around the entire time we're doing this. What's going down in YouTube town? It's your homeboy, Captain Retro. And I'm out here in the garage getting ready to go to work. Gonna spend a couple hours streaming this thing. I'm gonna go get some lunch. I'll come back. We will stream later again. It's gonna be an all-day process. Starting at 1 o'clock ish, roughly ish. Ishy-ish. I'll show you what you need to do to be able to do what we're going to do. Does that do things for you? Okay, it claims right now that we are live pinball repair and fishtails. So that's completely wrong. Why does YouTube suck so hard? We gonna fix it. Boop boop boo doo doo if it ever opens up. Take me to edit video. I gotta change this title. Broken. But welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show. We got a very interesting. I think it'll be interesting, and I enjoy doing it. It makes me feel good to make something look brand new again. And we'll stream as much of the process as we can until I get tired or the internet dies, because that could happen too. All right, let's change the title. I guess I could make that all. I just heard a leaf fall behind me. It was very scary. Thought for a minute a booger was coming to get me. Come on, thing, work. Save. Maybe it'll save. Maybe it won't. But we are out here in the garage where it's pretty cold. I've got a big heater if I need to turn it on later. And right now I can't see chat or anything, if there is any. But we will eventually go back to the video link. Open that up. Close that. Close that. Close that. Close that. Close that. And that. Lots of closing going down. I hope it's using the correct microphone settings. It's this guy. You can't see it, but I see it. It's right here. All right. We will pull the camera to the edge of the pinball machine world that I feel comfortable putting it in. We will set it there, and we will get to work here in just a second. I may need to black out the sun from these windows eventually so it's not overbearingly bright, but what you're looking at is a Xenon pinball machine, obviously. 1980 Bally Xenon. The first female voice pinball machine one of the first voice pinball machines. What is going on? How about you load, you piece of crap? Are we lagging over here? No, we're good over there. No drop frames. We're good. Okay, so I think we're live. Oh, now that I look at it, we get a drop frame. Of course. I had to open it up and look at it. The internet's garbage in my garage. This may or may not work. Can you not hear me? Well, I've got nothing loading over here, so I can't hear me. I got full bars on everything, but I've got absolutely nothing happening. Anyway, we're going to go over, I'm going to just act like it's working, and I'm going to talk to myself, and people are there or people aren't. This is a Xenon, and it needs a new playfield. I wouldn't say it needs one, honestly. It would look better. Ooh, I'm banging my head all around, making the cameras wiggle. Sorry. We can adjust the microphone back towards me here. Is that better? It's the prettiest one so far that I'm going to take apart. I can definitely tell you that. The last one, the first one I did, this whole section was basically missing in the game. The last one I did, it was really messed up down here and up in the pop bumper areas. These titties look great, and I'd leave these titties alone if I was Frank, you know. But he wanted a whole new hardtop. He wants it to look brand new. Bang my head. Let me turn the audio down here. Now that I know it's working. All right, we're working. So you're going to get to see pretty much the whole process. If I got to move stuff around a lot, I'm going to have to move stuff around a lot to show you what exactly I'm doing. This camera can come down a little smidge. I've got a rack of tools here, basically everything you're going to need to take apart a playfield. And you start by doing the exact simple things. You take the plastics off and all the posts, and you pull it apart one by one, and you try and keep it all together. So to do that, you're not going to see what I'm doing. I'll maybe take a camera over there and show you. But I've got this. This is the box that the playfield is in for the new Xenon. See if I can get it open. Without wrecking the camera anymore. And we will have to do a couple little customization things to this piece of plastic. We have to make sure all the holes are cut right and ready to go and in the right spots. We have to do some adjusting and some lining up, but we can't do that until we take plastics off. So what I'm going to do with the actual cardboard piece, though, this is, we'll just lay this up here for a second. What I'm going to do with this big old piece of cardboard that you may or may not be able to see me holding, I'm going to go over here and lay it on top of the, I've already pulled apart my time warp, and I actually started sanding it last night a little bit and got it down to where I'm ready to really go at the inserts and make them shine again. But we're going to put it back in the playfield, lay it back down in there, and then I'm going to lay this on top, and we're going to stack the parts from this game in the same order they come off of on top of this cardboard, so it's like the playfield sitting on top of this cardboard, and then when I go to put it all back together, it'll all be in the right order, and I can go in order and do it. Now, unfortunately for me in my time warp, I did not do that when I took the time warp apart. The time warp needs all new plastics, it needs all new pop bumpers, it needs all new everything, so most of that junk I'm throwing away, and I'll just be starting from scratch basically on that to put it back together. But we'll be filming that process in a later video. So here we go. I'm going to put this over here. You won't see where I go and what I'm doing. But just know what I'm doing. So there's the playfield back in its little world, and I'm going to lay the cardboard on top. And that becomes a perfect little table that can represent the playfield. And for the time being, we don't need this anywhere near us. So we're going to stick it over here, somewhere nice and up here on top of this thing so it doesn't get it stepped on or bent or knocked out of shape. And basically, you need a couple different size screwdrivers, Phillips. I got one flathead just in case, because flatheads are the bane of my existence and they show up in the weirdest spots on pinball machines. And then you need a couple nut drivers, different sizes, starting down at 1/4 inch, going up to whatever the big blue one is, 3/8. So anywhere in between those sizes, you may or may not need pieces. Generally, it's best to probably start from the back forward, but I'm going to go ahead and pull the plastics off first, and then we'll pull this off. And his plastics are all brand new. That's why they're so shiny and nice and white, and they're going to look fantastic against the new playfield. He's also got the LED mod on his tube. It's a good playing game. I actually haven't turned it on. We're going to trust that it's working, and I'm not worried about that. Frank said it worked, and so he did say something was wrong with the sound, a little bit of the sound issue, so maybe when I get it all back together, we'll go through and tweak it out for him and dial it back in. If you're in the comments and you're here, hi, say hi. Don't be afraid to ask questions as we go. If you're interested in stuff like this, or, obviously you're here for a reason. It's not my shining face. I'm hiding behind lights, and I know you can't see me over here. And the more I turn this camera towards the door, probably the worse it is. And what are you going to do? So eventually this playfield is going to be up and around, and I'll be over there, and I'll spin that thing towards me. I may need to set up. This is my, in fact, I guess I could go ahead and do that. This is my tonneau cover for my truck. And it makes a really nice light baffle. If it'll stretch out straight. There we go. Now I can maybe turn that camera towards the world over here that I'm in and not be blinding everyone with the sun. Hopefully it just stays up here and it does its little thing. Again, we are working with a laptop. We're going to have Batman angles because of the way things are angled, but what are you going to do? What is up, Daniel? I need a lav mic. I do have a lav mic, but I don't have the right equipment to run it live. I don't have enough mixers and stuff. I don't care enough. This microphone is awfully sexy, though, and it sounds terrific if you get right up on it. So, hey, how are you doing? Woodbury and Show, what's going on, buddy? John Rogers, good morning. Sachin? Hi, how are you? What's going down? YouTube town. So, yeah, here we go. We're going to take this thing apart. And starters is probably good old trusty yellow. This guy right here is a 5/16 nut driver driving the nuts. You know what? I'm going to have to do something about that camera. I guarantee it. Also, this camera, I can definitely re-angle. Let me pull up my OBS. Let me see there. Now, hey, so now you can see my face over there. What's going on? As I take this apart, I'll do my best to stay in camera. Let me move this one little cable out of the way of said camera, and we can tilt it up just a bit more. So, hi, how you doing? I'm over here. I can't see any chat if it happens, so I guess I need to open that back up, but and I can re-angle this camera just a smidge tad back a wards. So you can actually see where my hands are and what I'm trying to accomplish. Boop. Perfect. Alright. Google. Now this camera is looking at absolutely nothing but the microphone. Alright. There we go. I'm just here for the view duration. Sashin said something and it got retracted. You guys with the blue, you guys out there with the wrenches, you be on point. Get ready. It could happen at any moment. Some weird nonsense could show up. Now, apparently Frank's got brand new, whatever these little white nuts are called on here. And that one just doesn't want to come off of its little area. But you don't want to lose these things, so I take it all off together, or I try and keep them all together. And that one pulled the whole thing out, so we need the next size down driver to grab that. Let me grab that. But those two, I'll leave them together right now. He's got a lot of nice new posts on here too. Nice new blue posts. They're gonna look good with his newness. So I like to keep the little things together, or as much as together as I can. I necessarily don't have to have the rubber under there, but in fact it's going to be impossible to put that together on there right now like that. But I'll take this little nut and stick it back on top, so everything came out together and goes back in together as little friends. So there's that one, and of course I need the freaking Phillips head now, so I should have left all these screwdrivers sitting over here. And I'll bring them back. And there, bang the camera again. Constantly banging cameras. Let's see here. Saw your John Mayer videos. They were really good. Well, thank you. John and I were friends years ago. We haven't talked much in a long time, but I did see him at my buddy Clay, the guy in the video with him. That's who I was friends with. He was at Clay's like 35th birthday party or something like that we went to a while back, about 7 or 8 years ago. Jared Pimentel, I can't read it from here. Yo, I've got a Xenon, been debating doing a hardtop or just selling it as is. What do you want for it? What's it look like? How rough is it? Is it for sale? If it's for sale, I may be interested. I'm always out looking for a good Xenon. Depending on what my costs are going to be. But we're going to go ahead and pull this one off while we're standing here. These are coming off the posts easily and nicely into the hand. Pull that up. Go ahead and remove the rubber. Frank's got washers on here trying to protect the plastics. He's a smart man. He lives up in Athens. This is a customer that I've fixed a couple different things for. Gone out to his house and fixed a couple things, and fixed a Gorgar for him on the channel. Had it here at the house for a little bit. Got it up and running for him. And Frank's good people, and he wanted this done. Honestly, I think this playfield is pretty nice. As an original playfield goes, it's not terrible. And it's got that patina, that look of, hey man, I've been loved and I'm original and I've been out in the world getting played for a while, and I like that. I don't necessarily, in my own personal things, does it affect the playability? If the playfield is worn enough where the ball travels badly on it and doesn't play like it should, yes, obviously do these. Depending on your hardtop, Jared, I wouldn't. Depending on your playfield, rather, I wouldn't know without seeing it whether I thought it was worth swapping it out. Again, it always is though. I mean, you cannot honestly beat the hardtop in the way it plays. They play like glass. It plays like it's brand new. So it's not really apples to oranges. They are both very cool in their own way. It's the original playfield is very cool because it's the original playfield, and I guess the game might be maybe worth a little bit more because of a nice original playfield versus an original playfield that's all ripped up and gross looking and needs to be replaced, and again, it's all about user preference. Everything in life is user preference. It's all about choices. Waiting for a buzzer sound like Operation. Nah, that's not going to happen. Nothing's plugged in right now. I cannot get electrocuted, I don't think. Ah! Oh, nope. Can't get electrocuted. Doesn't work that way. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take these pillar sections over to the other little world we've built. And they are going to sit there and live there until we go put them back on. Or we drop pieces of them, like we just did. Slingshot 1. Slingshot 2. There's your little friend. And there's the one I dropped. Alright. Goodness gracious. I about tripped to my death on a power cable. So we'll just kind of go in a circle around this side over here, I guess, you know. I need to know where he bought these little threaded nylon nuts, I guess is what they are. If I can get these at like Home Depot or Lowe's, that would be fantastic, instead of having to wait for a week to get them and pay shipping on something this small and stupid. But I need a bunch of these for the time warp, actually. Oh, it's got one effing Phillips head in it. There's always one. There's always one other thing in there doing something you didn't expect. Now, with these screws that run along these wood beams here, the side rails, we'll take that off. This screw, I'm going to go ahead and put the screw right back where it was so it doesn't get lost in the shuffle. And it can stay there, and when I put it back together, I'll be like, yep, that's got to come out. So that, I mean, I may forget that it's got to come out, but it'll be there. You know what I mean? So that's there, that's there. We'll go ahead and pull that rubber with that one. He needs those two posts. Alright, here's where it can get a little tedious. I should probably be taking pictures as we go, but you know what? We've got video proof of what it is, and I'll go back and look at anything I need to. I've done this same game 3 times. It's pretty self-explanatory. There really isn't a whole lot on this playfield to worry about messing up. There's 4 pop bumpers, a couple hard targets, some drop targets, 4 drop target row. The tube is one little ramp section, and it's all pretty self-contained. But again, I'll on the other little piece of cardboard over there, I'll be keeping everything lined up together with its own little sections. And like this rubber band that goes around this drop target back section here, I'll kind of like set them all in there and put it right next to it, and I'll just know that that's the stuff that went up under this plastic. So long plastic goes that way, all stuff goes in the middle of the rubber, including the white threaded toppers. Boop. And then these will go over there as well, but I'll keep them in their own little rubber. Boop. Questions? Quests? Queries? DOA Hitman is in the house. What's up, buddy? Who you think you are? Electro Boom? I don't know who Electro Boom is. Who's that? The only video of Lifelines on YouTube. Really? I was looking for it for almost 5 years. Remember that time John saw us at a Ben Folds show and he turned to try and remember my name and said, David? Haha. I don't recall that moment, but I do recall quite a few other John Mayer moments that I will keep to myself. We got along and we didn't get along. We were that kind of friendly, you know what I mean? John was John before he was famous. I'll just say that much. Being famous did not make John Mayer the way he is. He was already that way. So, good on him for not changing. You know what I mean? yes, the dude's a super, super talented guitar player. Super, super talented guitar player. And it was impressive to be that close to him and Clay, watching them play and just being like, I play, but I'll never be like that. I don't have the time or the dedication or the ability to focus and get that good, so I'll just do me. Yeah, there might be a couple more videos floating around. I don't know. I've got a pile of videotapes from our high school and college days. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll find some more. I'm not sure. Those were all on one little section of tape, and I was specifically looking for it because I had a friend of mine that asked me about it, and I was like, yeah, I think I can find those. And so I put all that stuff up, but I have not gone through all those tapes. I know I've got more tapes of Clay and I and other bands and stuff hanging out, but I don't know if John was part of that at all at that point. I've got footage of, when they broke up their little band, Clay and John broke up Lo-Fi Masters. Clay moved out to California and started working at the Guitar Center out there, and then within like 2 years of that, a year and a half of that, by the time we were 20 or so, is when he started playing with his uncle's band, the Marshall Tucker Band, and then I went on the road with them as a guitar tech, and I've got a lot of footage of like backstage and Marshall Tucker Band shows, a lot of redneck women showing titties in the crowd. I got a lot of stuff I can't upload to YouTube, you know what I'm saying? But Marshall Tucker Band was at that point 30 years deep in the game of like, you know, live music performance and being well-known rock band. And they were putting on incredible concerts, and it was a lot of fun. Clay is a intensely good musician. He played saxophone and piano and slide guitar and sang and flute and all this different stuff for Marshall Tucker Band for a couple of years. It was the Clay Cook show when you went to go see them too. It was pretty fun. Yeah, no change for fame. Don't people grow out of pinball when they turn 17? No, they don't, Shane. They get even more invested into it. The playfield looks cool. The parts I can see. There's a kind of a harsh glare. Okay, well I can adjust glare time, I think. Maybe pull it back some. We can adjust the brightness. I'm sorry. I you know how I am. I just set up some cameras and I hit go. Let's see here. Now that probably made it a lot darker. But there's still a pretty good harshness in the dead center, I suppose, huh? I've also got this little hanging light here doing some work. Look at here. Let's turn this one off. Ooh. And now, give me one more a secondo. Boop. Move this panel so I can see what it's doing. Oh, I could just turn the exposure up a little bit. There you go. Now what's your little attitude gonna say about what it looks like? You dick. Sorry. I'm just kidding. If my computer falls off, it's going straight to concrete, and it could be game over for both the computer and the Captain Retro channel. Oh God, now I gotta get that screen out of the way because I can't see past it. This is a super professional stream, and you're pretty privileged to be here witnessing it right now. That doesn't help me for seeing it any better. That's not the best light to do this in, but I don't mind. I can do it in my sleep. So we're just gonna keep going up this side of here. I'll pull these out. Eventually last. You need to pry those out. I'll have this whole thing up and out of here before we do that. Yellow. Just an update on that Neo Geo cabinet I sent you a few weeks ago. Main cabinet was 100% a midway unit. Yeah, I told you. That was a Mortal Kombat 2 cabinet, looked like to me. Alright, so this one is just turning with the actual post as well. So is this one. It feels like you don't want to do too much of that, like bending them, because they will break the plastic. So you don't. You better get everything else around it loose, so you're not like warping and pulling on things that are going to stay together or don't want to come apart. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and put that little fella back on that post that didn't want to come out, and this one didn't want to come out of there. And we'll take off that little guy, and we'll make you go with your buddy. It really is just a bunch of removing a bunch of screwed in stuff and making sure you know where it went when you put it back down. It's pretty simple. Any monkey could do this. There's really cool artwork hidden up under some of these plastics too. This whole section over here is really cool. It's a dude's face transforming into like a robot looking thing, and his mind exploding, and you can't see most of it. It's hidden in that top corner. I'll show you when we get to it. Alright, that stuff goes together. Actually, this one's down here too, so we'll pull him up and make it go with this pile of parts up to that little area. That one stayed with the nut driver. I can't tell you why I started doing stuff like this, other than I knew it would be. I knew I could make some money if I could get things at the right price and sell them off, and that's been true. But I've really fallen in love with like tinkering with things and like fixing broken shit. Like, I'm a big fan of that. Oh, we can show that message. Daniel, we're gonna give you a wrench. I only played pinball on my computer years ago. Shane, it's almost like car headlights. Like, I can see car headlights and tell you what model car it is from like the early 60s, late 50s, up to like the 70s, 80s, 90s probably. Into the 90s, I would guess. I had 2000s cars I really don't pay attention too much to. Anything past like 95 I really don't care about. But I can look at like headlights and tell you what year Mustang it is rolling down the road. That kind of shit. I'm pretty good at, once I know something is what it is, it sticks in my brain. I have a photographic memory of most things. This is it would have been red originally. The top of it is still a little bit red, which was probably originally the bottom of it, and he flipped it over. But this whole tube would have been red to make this area kind of glow red. This is how they would have color changed lights, LED in an incandescent world. We're going to pull that out eventually, so we might as well pull it out. We're going to pull all the light bulbs out of it too. But we'll just keep going up around this corner on this ramp. So the first thing to take apart over here is generally the back end corner. And it's got, these always have little guide tubes that are part of it, little standoffs. You got to make sure you don't lose that. Spin this around some. Get that. There it goes. It rolled right off. We'll pull this one up. This little section can be tricky to put back together because of these little posty things. That one stayed with it, but this one flopped around and went floppy. You're too floppy, boy. Alright, so that one goes there, and then this one, we'll go ahead and unplug the circuits. Bloop. I need a bigger This is a almost stripped screw head over here. It must have been removed on multiple occasions over the time. These are like crappy little tin metal, pot, what they call it, pot metal nails or something like that. They're made of crappy metal. Pot metal screws. Alright, get out of there, buddy. There's the light board. That little piece can come with it too. And this one that fell off over here. And those are the light board standy peg thingies. And then this should just pop off. Boop. Put that with it. Keep all this together. Keep it together. I've definitely got footage of Daniel Victorio and Clay Cook singing Anything Goes musical songs in high school. I've got that whole tape on a VHS tape of that entire performance. Put this stuff over here. I hear car doors. Mailman? Oh, no, maybe neighbors going somewhere. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut these cables because I gotta solder them back later. Okay, that one is loose now, yes. This one is loose now, yes. Lucy McGoosey. Lucy McGoosey. And let me get my little wire cutters. I have become weirdly French somehow. Hello, wire cutter. Hello, hello, cutter. Hello. So this little switch, we're going to go ahead and snip these wires just a little higher so I remember which side they came from. And we'll know how to put them back. Boop. And all these little peggy bastards, you got to remember which leg they go to. So back leg, front leg, front leg. Back leg, front leg, front leg. And a little ramp, you go there. I put all the little screws and thingies right there with you so you cannot get lost. Thank you. That's funny. That probably shouldn't be on there, but he put it there anyway. We'll take it. Doop. That rubber come off of there. And we put his friends with him. Anybody else out there? Session. Do you have videos at Eddie's attic? Do you have cover? You have to convert those VHS? Yeah, they're not VHS. It's actually VHS-C, I think. It was like, little old 8mm tapes, which is why the quality is better. It was more like a digital film at the time. I had a pretty nice little camcorder back in high school and college. Been making stupid shit my entire life with videotapes. I've got, I went to high school with Clay, not John. So Clay and I made movies and stuff. We did school projects where we made movies together. I've got a ridiculous one with him and a buddy of mine named Alex that they, are supposed to be doing studying and working, and instead they go and fuck around, and for some reason they run to like an elementary school and get BB guns and start shooting at kids at the playground with their BB guns, and it's like this, it would never have gone over in today's society, but in 1994, 95, you could get away with doing stupid shit like that in a high school for a high school project, and we get an A on it, you know. But that one will probably never see the light of day just because of the subject matter. All right, we'll leave that. We'll take that later. We'll come around to that side, but I'll just stay over here and do it from this side. But let's take this pile of junk and put it where it belongs on the little board we're working on over here. Boom, 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 boom. It's the theme to Peter Gunn. Boom, 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 boom. We'll put these, but I'm glad that people are enjoying those videos of the, you know, the old John Mayer stuff. That's cool. And if that is truly the only live performance ever captured of him and Clay playing that song together, that's pretty cool. We were all good buddies. We all recorded music together in their little apartment, and we did a lot of things friendly until they got in a fight over a girl, and it broke their band up. And then within a year or two, John was on the radio, and Clay was on the road with Tucker Band and doing his thing. And Clay's in the Zach Brown Band now, lead guitar player for them. And he, you know, he's doing great. John does his thing, you obviously know. So John's doing fine. Yeah, the character that one of the kids that Alex played, it wasn't Clay. Well, I guess they were both shooting the BB guns. But the character was like just this guy who would like, come on, man, you ain't got to do all that. You can go, you can hang out. Let's go have some fun, man. And his idea of having fun was to go to this elementary school playground and start shooting kids with BB guns and laughing at them from the top of the swing set thing. It's goofy to watch them do it, but like the idea of it is horrifying if you think about it. Like, I can't believe we even thought of that. And why were we shooting kids with BB guns? I know why we were shooting kids with BB guns, because we used to go play BB gun war like a bunch of idiots and shoot each other with BB guns from 50 yards and, you know, 50 pumps and try and take the people's eyes out. We were idiots. Okay, that one's stuck to the plastic now. That's good. We'll put it back there. Actually, we'll leave it here. We'll take all this together. Only video on the internet. Well, that's pretty cool. I could have sworn that I have footage of like me and John and Clay and a couple other friends hanging out at a bonfire party one night, drinking and singing and doing stuff together, and I'm playing on that with them and doing a couple things, but I don't know exactly where that tape is. I haven't found it yet, if I still have it, but I can swore that I have a memory of us having a camcorder out there that night doing that. And then there's definitely like a tape rolling around somewhere of John doing Fire and Rain by James Taylor at a karaoke place that we were all at. And I think I sing one on that same tape. I don't know. I'm a musician as well. I'm just not well known like those guys are. But I've done some things. Done some cool stuff in my life. And I'm not a full-time musician. You gonna pay me? Okay, I'll come make some music for you. Ooh, that one was a tight one. All right, you know what? Before we put that one together, I should take all this stuff that came out of that one section, and like we were doing before, one at a time, move it over to the new spot on the table so we don't forget where it goes. This goes around the top pot bump. Take all the pot bumpers. Did I lose a screw just then? I did. Don't you go nowhere. Don't you go nowhere, screw. I need you. Put all 4 of these guys over here. We just stick these in the middle. They ain't gotta go in no specific spot. Now this one's a little tricky. It's attached down below because it's the spinner target. So I'm going to pop this side off of here too. You know, this screwdriver kind of sucks, but the only reason I kept it is because it's my old dog. He chewed on it at one point, and I remember yelling at him real bad about it, and I felt bad about it. And then it just reminds me of him now that I use it. You know what I mean? But it's got some stripping issues going on with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and unlatch. This is the springy thing for the spinning target, and it'll just kind of like bounce there on a little spring it's on. Don't want it to go through the playfield, but I'm going to keep this whole assembly together. And I'll be back. Are you going to change the seat on this game? No, this game runs just fine. This machine is playing just fine. In fact, I wouldn't have changed the playfield. If it was my game, I'd have left it alone. I like the original look to it. Is that this light that's so bright? It must be on this camera, which is can't handle it. This playfield looks fine to me. I mean, it's old and it's got wear and there's scratching and some of the stickers are coming off the inserts. You can replace those. It's somebody did some touch-up work on it at one point with some paint. You can tell here it's just not perfect. And he wants it to look like it's brand new, so that's what we're doing. And he's paying us to do it. And I'm probably not charging him enough because it is a good bit of work. But we're going to keep going down this side over here. Might as well take this rail first. And this little bastard can come with it too. pop bumpers we'll be doing later. I'm going to pull this section up and we'll come back and get this top row of glass or plastic off there. We'll go ahead and just go to right here now. A Xenon swap, just the playfield. We're putting a brand new hardtop over the top of this playfield, and it's like basically like a thick piece of credit card plastic, thicker than a credit card, with all the artwork printed back on it, and it sticks to the top. You have to sand this all down, get it ready for prep. All these little spots are inserts, and these will do all the green, and they all have different colors. And the new thing goes over the top, and it'll read things on these letters now, and it'll look magical and beautiful. And all this area that's dingy and yellow will be white and pretty like it was when it came out of the factory. It looks like a whole different game when you get done. The back glass is in really good shape, so it's going to be left alone. He's put LEDs in the back glass rim there. He's got a couple LEDs going throughout some of the GI in this game, but not fully. Each your preference. If people like certain lights certain ways, we'll pull those out. I'm gonna go ahead and take these two guys too, if I can get them. You know what? Stay there. These are really old school looking little spring screws. They don't use these in a lot of games, especially modern stuff. But like it's just a big spring on a screw, and it helps keep the ball from bashing back into the back side of that thing and bending stuff or breaking light bulbs. And they only use them in certain spots, and I guess it's because there's a kicker there, and maybe because that ramp feeds to that area pretty fast. They wanted some extra protection there. Everybody could use some extra protection. You know what I'm saying? Little pile of stuff, don't lose any. Little pile of stuff, come with me. Better pull this thing out. All right, we're going to change the lighting situation again. I'm going to turn this light back on. That might glare everything out ridiculously. Stick that light back up here. Move these pieces over there. I need to pick the playfield up to get up to those top pieces of plastic. So you lift here, and we're just going to slide it out. I'm going to set it on some of the coils that are pretty sturdy, and they should be all right. And I'm not worried about scratching the playfield because we're going to do a brand new playfield. So, yeah, okay. So that's a lot of bright action over there. I'll move this back some. Maybe it's not so bright for you. This is a baffle piece of metal up here to like keep the ball from sticking up and sitting on that plastic as it comes around that loop pretty quickly, which is neat. They don't have a lot of those going on anymore in games either. Like above the plastic metal. I guess they got diverters and things, but it just looks different to me. These ones get lots of screws. Never use a drill on anything like this. Always go with hand tools. You never know how much over adjusting, pressure you put from a drill on something. You can crack plastics. You can crack the wood. This stuff's old. It's 40 years old, and it doesn't need your power tool action to make it work better. Put this stuff over here. In the way, bruh. Linda, what's up? Woodbury said something. Hey Cap, just curious, what would a repair like you were doing here cost in parts? Well, I hope you're still around to hear the answer to this question. The tabletop, the hardtop thing that he has bought himself, he bought the parts. I believe it runs $249.99 or something like that plus shipping, so around $280 or so to get it shipped to you. And I could be wrong on the price on that, but I think that's about what it costs. And then my time is $50 an hour, but I told him I'd try and get it done in 10 hours of actual labor. You got to let things set. It's going to be a tomorrow process before it gets done. You got to clear coat some of the stuff and let the paint set up before you put the hardtop on. But I think I can get all the actual labor done in 10 hours. He's paying me $500 to do this for him, just so you know. I don't know why you need to know that, but there you go. Now you know. Knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. But you could spend, if you didn't do the hardtop solution, you could buy, if you can find one, or if they make one. Mirko is a playfield maker. Classic playfield reproduction. CPR makes playfields. I don't know if they make a Xenon. They may. But that'll run you about $800 for an actual playfield, which is nice that they make it if you need one. And I guess that's not that bad of a price considering what they got to do to make it cool. They do clear coat it and it's perfect and it'll stay nice and beautiful forever, the new ones. But if they make a hardtop for it, that's the way to go. Less work. do a full playfield swap, you have to take everything off the top and the bottom and swap it over, and it's a much more tedious process. Add another 30 hours to your life. Probably a 40 to 50 hour job in all. But this I think I can get done in 10 to 12, and I'll eat some of the hours. I told him I'd charge him $500. So it all depends on how long I stand here and bullshit and talk instead of just getting the job done. Which, you know, I do like to bullshit. We know that is the truth. Oh, don't you be up under there where I can't get to you. I will get to you. Oh, yes. I will get to you. Maybe not yet. Maybe I gotta take some other pieces off first, but you going down, bitch. Let's take this off. Or not. Why is that one on there so good? Oh, man. Come on, bro. Don't be like that, buddy. Don't be like that, buddy. Come on now. Alright, well, these have got anchors on the bottom of the playfield, attaching those to them. I think these do too. Yeah, there's nuts down there that you gotta... God, these can be a pain. I forgot about these parts being a pain in the ass. Alright, that part will stay on there for a little while longer. Until I can raise the playfield and go up under there, which I guess I could do now, but I got more I can remove. Right? No? Are we there? I guess we're kind of there. Well, this has got to come off, but to get that off, there, we got to get that out. Now we got to get that rail off, but I guess it can come later too. If I got to go under the playfield now, I got to go under the playfield. I want to do it all in one fell swoop, so I was going to try and get everything off that comes off the top first, and then we'll put the playfield up, and then we'll go up with stuff that we need to get off the bottom of it. Ramp parts. Ramp parts. I guess I could take the apron off while I'm standing here too. Make life easier for this end of the game. Can y'all see this end of the machine? I guess you can't. I'm going to put it back in. But I'm going to leave it about yay high. And I'll see if you can see it here in a minute. I guess I could have taken the balls out before now. Uno. Dos. Boo, 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 boo. Yep, we got a couple, now mine, this is a piece I've never seen on one. This, like, ball cover shield here. I've had 3 of these Xenon machines now, and I've never seen this piece, so somebody added that to it, or it was a factory piece that was missing on the other 3 games that I had that it's not necessary, you know what I mean? What could really happen in there? But I guess they went with the overkill method in the engineering department. Alright. Now, keeping all this stuff with the apron is fun. Put that there. Where did I get this big ass screw? Oh, it came from there. my cutters. We got questions? We do got questions. Oh, sorry. Are you self-taught? Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I wanted a pinball machine a couple years back, and I decided I better learn how to fix them. So I bought a broken one, and I fixed it, and then I did it again, and I did it again, and I did it again, and I've done it a lot. I've sold like 213, somewhere like that. Maybe 180 something pinball machines and like 75 arcade machines. So much more than 213. How often do you have damaged parts to do due to shipping? Damaged parts in shipping, it can happen. Not often. When I sell something like a pinball machine and I ship it, lately 9 times out of 10 I've been taking it myself so it doesn't get effed up in the shipping. Depending on where it's got to go, but I've been known to drive across the country from here to LA like 3 times this past year to deliver things to Arizona and New Mexico and Los Angeles 3 or 4 different times, and San Jose twice, and San Luis Obispo. Been up to New York. I like to drive, and I like to set the machine up and make sure that it works for the customer and that I'm not going to get bad complaints. So I charge people more, but I also do more for them with it. You know what I mean? I bring it to them and I help them set it up, and I take care of the problems that show up. All right. We'll leave that together, but this whole thing gets to come apart. Some of this stuff I'm not putting in the exact place, like this whole trough system. I'm laying it up there on that thing in a different order, more in front of the flippers, but I know exactly where it goes. You know what I mean? It's not, I'm doing it on purpose. I don't have the space at the end of the box, and I don't want stuff to go rolling off and fly away. Like this screw that just went missing. Come here, you little jerk. I found you. I'm YouTube taught and Google taught. I don't know about self-taught, but I can pay attention to directions, and I'm not scared to try anything. You know what I mean? If other human beings' hands have done something, I would like to think that my hands are as capable. Maybe without the knowledge barrier behind it, but the ability to like figure it out. Somebody else fucking figured it out. You're going to be a little diphthong, aren't you? You're going to make me have to come in here secondarily and pull you apart, aren't you? You little shit. Alright, that thing's got to come apart from the bottom too. You bastages. And herein lies the Phillips head, or the flathead. See? One stupid thing in here needs a flathead to pull it out. Who invented the flathead? Like, well, I get it. They had the flathead, and then somebody came up with the Phillips head, and no one, like, they didn't, like, hang the guy that came up with the flathead immediately and be like, why didn't you figure out how to do this? It was that much, it was one more maneuver. And it makes such a difference. They didn't hang him. He should have been hung. Alright, get all this stuff off of here. Take that one over here. Well, we're going to need that. Actually, I bet I can pull that whole thing up without having to. Stuff the light bulb back down through the hole. You might not be able to see exactly what I'm doing here. This is the ball kicker unit, and it will be attached by solder under here, but we're going to do like we've done before and just cut it, and we'll resolder it all back together, cut some new line for it, and get it all back together when we put it back together. But I like to leave it up a little high so I know which lug it went through, and this one will be easy though because it goes 2 to 1, 1 to the other, so that's easy to figure out. There's your ball assembly kicker and all the screws that belong to it. And this thing is just about ready to be removed. But I gotta get that part off from the underside, and I think these are also got nuts on the bottom that I gotta get up. So all right, there we go there. It looks so naked. Oh, that sounded like something important rolling away. What was that noise? I don't see nothing. All right. So these two little guys right here, I loosen them from the top so the nut will come off the bottom. Put that right there. Just heard something falling down in there. A screw, a nut. Something went a-flopping. May have been a spacer. Oh my God. What's your problem, bro? I guess we gotta get these off on here. You can't really see what I'm doing. And we just dropped a screw right inside. You got to make sure when you're putting screws back in that you're using the right size screw. You don't want anything to pierce the play field from the bottom. I've dealt with a lot of games where people are just like, just jam a screw in there, and like that looks great, and it fucks up shit for later on. You know, just put a screw in it. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna go good. If you just put a screw in it, it's gonna go good. Oh, come on, you bastard. Okay, so you're gonna have to be unlocked, aren't you? Alright, well, in times like these, you go ahead and you put the playfield back where it belongs, and you get your kickstand out, and you stand it up. And then you go get an Allen wrench, because I gotta take apart this little doodabber, so we can pull that out, and then we gotta do the same with the flippers. I might as well go ahead and unscrew the back side too. I don't know. There's a lot going on here. Let me find my Allen wrench. Let me clear my throat. Or my Allen screw system that I had going on. Screwdriver with a little thing on the tip. If I can find it. He just had to come back for the Crushinator. That's too big. Not what she said. That's too big. Alright. Good stuff. Great times. Hello, Alan Wrench. Hello, Mr. Wrench. That is your real name. Lefty Lucy. Gotcha. Alright, so that piece is out. That piece is bent. One of these things is not like the other. What is holding you on there, love? What is it then? Is it just that you're stuck in there now? Hello? Oh, legit? Like up under there? Okay. I get it. I see you. Ooh, girl, I see you. Get this out of there. There's the switch. There's the pegs for the switch. They are important. We drop the screw. Where's my screwdriver? I guess I got my magnetic one in my hand. Come here, screw. I see you. I got it. All right, there's the whole trough assembly pulled apart. Oh, God. We've got our trusty hammer that we're going to need. You're always going to need a hammer. And might as well put these back with the other pieces real quick. If there's anybody still watching, I'm truly impressed. Do. All right, flippers. There's 5 people watching. Holy cow! Automatic screwdrivers and any kind of drill thing you don't want to use. You don't want to get any too much pressure on there. I like to use hand tools. I don't want to break anything. Are you gonna take every electronic stuff and place it in a new Xenon. No, all this stuff stays on here pretty much, except for the flippers. Things that have to come back up through the top of the playfield, but anything on the bottom can stay where it's at. It is of no concern, really. A couple switches, I might need to move a switch or two lower and put it back when I get done, but like, for the most part, no. Once you get the top side stripped, you start sanding it down and you get it ready for the new overlay to go on top. It's basically like putting a brand new sticker on top of the playfield, but it's not a sticker. It's a much cooler thing than a sticker. It's a scratch resistant piece of super hard plastic with 3 layers of artwork printed underneath that it'll never take another scratch. They look gorgeous and they play like it's something out of the factory, like it's a brand new machine. And it will look great forever. Come on, flipper. Why are these in here so tight? Frank, what have you done? This is ridiculous. Come on, Tugger. All right, I didn't want to have to do it. Damn thing. Come out of there. You and your buddy isn't. You're too tight. You're too tight in there. You're tight like a tiger. Is it? Oh my God, Allen wrench, go in the hole. Wow. This is impressively stuck in there. I guess Frank tightened the shit out of these things. But they look like brand new flippers. Get the fuck out of there. Unbelievable. Oh my God. Get the fuck out of there, bruh. I wonder if he changed the flipper pawl. That's just relentless, bro. You don't want to force anything, ever. But you want it to fucking come loose. Oh my God, like it's supposed to. Jeez. Flipper 1. That took forever. Flipper 2, are you going to be the same way? A little jerk that doesn't want to come out of his home. I'm going to unscrew the crap out of this one. Look at there. That one came right the hell out like it's supposed to. Alright, so those can dangle, dingle, dangle. I am going to go ahead and remove the outside posts. And eventually I'll need to remove these brackets up here too. I'm going to leave these down in here. These two brackets will have to come off. You can't see what I'm looking at. You can't see what we're doing. That's the bracket for the apron. Take the shooter rod cover off. Alright, we're going to go towards the back end now. What the fuck was that? I don't know. Something sounded like it fell down again. Alright. This big guy here needs a bigger nut driver, probably big blue, maybe big green. And we're back down at the bottom side of this little thing over here. He's still running the original power. No, I guess it's not. That's a brand new power supply in there. So he's smart. He upgraded the power supply. Am I loosening or tightening? What the hell am I doing here? It needs to come off. There we go. There wasn't a need for a nut to be on it, really. It's going through a screw hole, like insert holder down here in the bottom that's already threaded. Like, this is overkill. One. I'm going to leave the nut with it because that's how I found it. But I don't like it. Alright, there's the other one. Looks like he's gone through and put new coils on every coil in here too. Another overkill process. Like, coils generally don't go bad. You know what I mean? Like, they can, and things can happen, and things can melt down, but it's generally something else that caused your coil to do that than the coil itself. And even then, the coil could be rewound and rebuilt. You could wind your own coils and remake them and make them all work again. It's just a series of wire around a piece of metal. It's a pretty simple thing. But people are like, I think I need new coils. No, you need to clean your shit and clean your mechs up and make sure your mechs are working. And those coils are going to do exactly what they were built to do 40 years ago. Pulse energy. Is anyone typing anything? I've been paying no attention. Sashin, thanks for stopping by. Have a great day. This is good stuff, Cap. I'm actually working on an Xbox One right now and was stoked that you were streaming. What, you're trying to fix an Xbox One? Just throw it in the trash. No, I'm just kidding. I like like my Xbox One, but I rarely play it anymore. What is this going to? That's a weird... Oh, it must have come out of the loom somehow. Something's going on there. That's wacky. Alright, do we need to take anything else out of the bottom over here? These little... Yeah, these little fucks. These are the ball guide gates that don't let the ball come back a certain way. Oh my god. It's a treacherous area up under here. I'll have to come back and get that. That was a little scary. Man, gravity makes things not fun sometimes. Put this back together. Remember that there's a nut for it up under the power supply. We'll stick that right there for now. We'll go after his friend. Part 2. Not easy to do if you can't see the whole thing. But I think we got it. Okay. God damn, is that another one that went flying off and missing somewhere? Those things just roll right up under stuff immediately. You can't control it. You can only hope to contain it. And there it is, I see it. But they go missing immediately. It's like, oh, now I'm camouflaged. Look at me, you'll never find me. Who is texting me? And what do you want? Is it my girlfriend leaving work? Good for her? No? It's bullshit. Actually, it's Andy. MC Murr's talking about selling his whole collection. Uh-oh. He might be burned out. He might have had enough. Or he might just want some money. I did that, and then I got it all back again. Everything that I cared about having back again. And it was cheaper the second time around than it was the first time around. And the first time around was cheap. Come on off of there, buddy. You're almost there. Yeah, we didn't fall or nothing. Look at you doing stuff the right way the first time. Put these back together. I have an electronic repair shop now. Honeywell moved and we all lost our jobs. So I fix stuff and sell on eBay full time. Well, Wood, that's what I do too, buddy. I did $90,000 in sales on eBay last year. Pretty good year. Now that is not all profit, but that was a pretty good year. Whew. All right, is that stuff off? That stuff's off. This can come out. This is the back rail piece. I'm gonna leave those down there. I'm gonna leave this down there with it. Why the fuck not? We will need this to bang out pop bumper things. But we're going to go ahead for the time being and pull it back down. Because we got other stuff to get. And let's put these inside so we don't forget those parts go with it. We can go ahead and pry up these guides. And again, if I scratch the playfield, I don't care. But I'm not. I'm good enough at doing this without scratching it. In fact, I bet I can pull that one out by hand. They're just press fit down into the wood. Come on, buddy. Yeah, I could use a good magnet. I've got a magnetic bowl over there that I never use. It's got a bunch of stuff sitting in it. I just forget that I own the shit. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I guess this will roll away. But yeah, you drop a lot of screw heads and a lot of nuts into the bottom of the cabs a lot. You know, you gotta remember to go back and get them. All right, we'll go ahead and put this stuff over there. Let me put that there. All these rails. Go ahead and unscrew these. And this is a top and bottom process you got to do here. You got to pull these out, the screws in the top at least. And I might need to get my solder gun out and get it warmed up and ready to unhook these light lines that you got to desolder or cut, I guess. But I'm going to desolder them. It's generally the faster way to do it. And I'm not trying to make a big hassle to put them back together. Loose, that's good. I know this, I'm pretty hungry and it's about time for lunch. So we're getting close to being done for the first session. And I appreciate y'all sticking around and watching this nonsense. So I need my yellow. I think it's over there. So first part is you take the screw or the nut off of the ring, the metal ring bracket. These two things here. Of course, I dropped another screw in there. Come here, you little bastard. Get out of there. Ugh. Keep clear pliers handy. Are you shitting me? Did you go up higher? Fuck you, dickhead. Good Lord. Alright, got it. And then you take the four bottom ones off. And I generally leave these down on little piles around the area under the game where they sit. And right there are the ones you gotta cut. We'll go ahead and do that. We'll cut. There's also a staple holding the light part in that you can pull out, and I'll re-staple them when I re-put it in. I got a little staple gun. We'll put them back in like they came out. But we'll go ahead and just cut these. Cut the power lines to them, basically, which is what these are. I believe it's all like one long ground line chain that's running to it. Good Lord. Good Lord. Are you going to not come off of there now because you got a giant solder glob on you? Of course. How about that? Gotcha. Okay. One pop bumper removed. Who is blowing me up still? Alright, that one is done. Number next. Okay, well this one's missing screws to hold it together, so that's fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and pull that off. You're missing some screws there, buddy. And then we got to go ahead and do the same thing. I might as well get the soldering iron out and desolder this area. But you know what? I'm kind of hungry, and it's time for some lunch. It's 3 o'clock, which is later than lunch, but this is what we do around here. So we're going to go ahead and call it a stream right now, and we'll be back in just a couple hours. Started streaming 3 minutes ago. What are you talking about? Been streaming longer than that. We're going to come back, and we'll go live again here in just a little bit, and we'll finish up the process for the day after we go get some lunch. Hooray for us, and hooray for lunch. Thanks for watching.